Close your eyes. Let your mind take control. And turn your brain into a dance floor. Start the drums.
Building drum sequence.
Add the bass line. Create the melody.
Melody programmed.
Now add the people.
Global crowd selection online. Enter access code to share. ASOT. Access granted.
This is A State of Trance podcast with Armin van Buuren.
One of those tracks I've been playing for a while already in my live set, and it was labeled as unknown so far. But finally I can reveal it's the brand new Orjan Nilsen called Endymion, and it will be out soon on my label Armind. Welcome to a new edition of the State of Trance podcast. I'm Armin van Buuren, and I'll be playing you some of the highlights of the regular State of Trance radio show. Some of the highlights coming for you: Jorn van Deynhoven, James Dymond, MaRLo, and a great classic by Robert Nickson. But first, the Argentinian duo Heatbeat with their tune Rocker Monster in a new remix by Tomas Heredia. He's partly Dutch, partly German. The perfect mix of genes to make great uplifting trance. I'm talking about Mr. Jorn van Deynhoven with his new headliner tune. Thank you for all your emails, guys. Armin at astateoftrance.com. Derek Dolphy from San Diego, California shouts out to his friends Jason, Kevin and Dan. And Nick Jacobs in Greene, North Carolina shouts out to his friend David in Sterling. Max Weinberg wishes his friend Stevie happy birthday. And Joshua Pino sends a shout out to the Trance family in Karachi, Pakistan. I'd love to hear from you. Send your requests, your stories. And maybe you're campaigning for State of Trance 600 in your country? Let me know. Armin at astateoftrance.com. Up next, like I said in the regular State of Trance radio show last week, if you look at the word uplifting in your dictionary, you'll find a picture of this man, James Dymond, crowned as Tune of the Week last week. Here is his new track, Paladin.
You're tuned in to the highlights of the regular State of Trance radio show. This is the State of Trance podcast with Armin van Buuren. Van Buuren.
Like Jorn van Deynhoven earlier, this man has Dutch ancestors too, but he lives in Australia, and you just heard MaRLo with Underneath. You're listening to the State of Trance podcast. Every week, you can send your suggestions or requests for the podcast classic. I received this week's request through Armin at astateoftrance.com from Oscar Garcia from LA, USA. He really wanted to hear that Robert Nickson tune, Motion Blur. And he also shouts out to his friend Jesse Jimenez from Ventura, California. Enjoy, Oscar. You just heard the State of Trance podcast. If you want to hear your favorite track of all time, send your request to Armin at thestateoftrance.com and mention the podcast classic in there. Before I go, surf to youtube.com/Armin van Buuren to check out my brand new video of Gaia, J'ai envie de toi. Really happy how it turned out. It contains images of the State of Trance 550 celebrations. For all track listings, news and more, surf to stateoftrance.com, and I'll see you next week for a new podcast.
For more info and previous editions of the podcast, visit arminradio.com or youtube.com/Armin van Buuren. Until next time.
For more info, check www.armadamusic.com.